morning, everyone. Welcome to the Frank and Teri show. And of course, I'm Frank Weeden, and this is Teri T.T. Cooper. And you can find our book and author links down below in the description. Please like, subscribe, share, etc. this video. So, all right. Good morning, Teri.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Peachy. How are you?
Good. I kind of wanted to talk this morning about what happened to me yesterday. And it's not the first time, but I got a call from Maryland, I think it was. Anyway, it was one of the author publishing joint venture kind of publishing company. And basically what they want is your $1,500. And then they'll do everything. If you're a self-publisher, you pretty much know how to copyright your book. You know how to fill out all the things so you can get it on the Kindle, and you can do the covers, and you can from the templates on Amazon and all of that kind of stuff. These publishing companies want to come in and tell you your covers are wrong, and you need to do this, and they'll edit it for you, and they'll help you do rewrites, and they'll with one shot they'll help you do a rewrite, but they want you to pay for them $1,500, and then they're going to pick up the rest of the cost of marketing it. And I got the contract here, and it doesn't really say too much of if anything about how they're going to market your book, what they're going to what effort they're going to put into it. Mostly says that you have to buy all your copies, and then you have to go make so many dates to sit and sign them. And if you sell them, then you get 60%, but then you have to give them 40%.
Right.
And that kind of stuff.
Well, the thing that seems to bother me the most, and I guess most artists, but writers in particular, is that we are artists, right. and dealing with like the legal gobbledygook that comes along is not something that's really kind of in our wheelhouse.
No, it's
and
not.
And so, I've heard of. It's interesting this whole topic of conversation, because I've heard of authors being like all starry-eyed because all of a sudden, wow, I've got an agent. I've got somebody looking at my work, and they're going to publish me, and they have these visions of seeing their books in airport bookstores and libraries and everything else, and so they fail to read the small print of the contract,
right.
And they've sold all their rights to their books.
Right.
That's crazy.
And that's basically what you do, is you give them the right to do what they want to do with it, but then they don't do anything.
Right.
So there's 2 or 3 different kind of publishers out there. There's the Vanity presses, which you just pay everything.
Right.
And they put your book no place. Right. And then there's these guys that are kind of the middle of the road that I can understand if I didn't have the team that I have, and my husband and you guys, of helping me make covers, helping me fill out all the electronic stuff, because I'm clueless. That $1,500 for me would have been well spent. But I wouldn't be any further along than I am right now.
Right.
And then there is your actual publisher, and the key thing I've always heard with an actual publisher is you do not have to put out any money whatsoever.
Right.
They send you a stipend of some kind, and you sign contracts, and they take that book and they do everything with it.
Right.
And that's what you're looking for.
Right.
But the key there is don't pay anybody to do it for you.
Right. That your agent should be negotiating that kind of thing for you, and all of that.
All of that. And you should never have to put out any money. It's what I've been told and what I've found.
I believe that's true.
I believe that's really true. But this guy yesterday on the phone, he was pushy. You could barely understand his. He didn't sound. He sounded foreign. And he just kept trying to blow smoke. You know, well, there's 70 million books out there, and you're 40 or you're 34th or some million so I'm halfway there. That's really good. Still 35 million behind. Come on.
Right.
You know, and then, you've got a lot of good reviews on it, and we can make this thing sell. And yeah, I do have some really good reviews, really good. I don't have any bad reviews. And and all the things he was saying to me were true, but they just weren't. I mean, what's he going to do more than what I've done already?
How did he get a hold of you? How did he get a hold of your phone number? All of that, because that's it's interesting to be targeted that way.
He's not the first. Well, I think once they have your name, they can look up your phone number. That's not rocket science.
Right.
But this is the second time this company has called me,
right,
and fed me the same spiel. And they wanted choices, second chances, a book of choices, and they wanted Junior's journey. And, he basically told me the covers were bad, that they needed to redo the covers. And, I was really disappointed. And then for me to try to tell him, I'm not paying you $1,400. He just kept trying to blow that smoke and pushing and pushing and pushing.
That's the point where I don't
until
care.
I got mad.
I don't care what they're selling or how much I want it. The minute they start pushing on me, I'm like, no, sorry. Don't push me. I'll hang up. I don't give a damn.
Well, yeah, it was like, well, you don't want this book to sell. You don't want this to get out in the public. You don't want. If you want this to happen, it's got to be through me. Well, no, it doesn't, dude.
No.
It doesn't.
No matter who they are, they're not the only game in town.
Right, exactly. And so don't let these people convince you with all the smoke and mirrors.
Don't let them bully you, right?
Yeah, to bully you into something that you can pretty much do yourself.
Right.
With Amazon.
Well, that's the beauty of self-publishing, is that it doesn't cost an arm and a leg, and you don't have to wait 10 years. Like I remember in the olden days, but anyway, before self-publishing became a thing, most publishers would say no simultaneous submissions. So if you would put your book out to a publisher and you're interested in B publisher, but you can't do anything until you hear back from A publisher. And so, and that may happen within 3, 6, 8 months, a year. Right. So you're stuck in limbo until finally you hear back, or if they decide to get back to you ever. And after a certain amount of time, you go, well, heck with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and talk to publisher B. But if they don't accept simultaneous submissions and you haven't heard anything back from publisher A, then you're in this weird and it's
limbo.
It's a hugely laborious process. And any publisher, the reason it's so hard to get into publishing is because they're making a bet on you. They're making a bet that they can market you. They can take your product to market, and they will make money, and you'll make money on it, of course. But they will also make money on it.
Right.
So
nobody's going to invest in you if they can't make any money off of
you. Right.
And that's fair.
Right. But you shouldn't have to pay somebody.
No.
To take a chance on you. That's not.
No, because then they're not going to work that hard. They're not going to.
There's.
They've already made their cut.
Right. Well, and then and that's what they want. They want their cut up front.
Right.
Now, there's an interesting. I got taken in several years ago when I was writing poetry. And there's a one single group, and they market themselves under at least 3 different names. One is poetry.com, the other is the Amherst Society, and the other is the Library of Poetry.com or something like that. Anyway, same thing. They'll you have, like, I had a page up, they had my poetry and stuff on there, and all of a sudden they contacted me through that page, and like, oh my God, your poem is so amazing. And I'm like, oh wow, cool, I've been noticed. I mean, because poetry is very narrow focus market. Yeah. And so they're like, oh, we can put it in this anthology, and it'll appear very attractively, and we'll send you a plaque, and we'll do all of this, and for the low price of just $1,000, and I was suckered in. I was so flattered. I was like, well, yeah. And then you'd be entered into this contest that may result in a the seminar or something that happened in Washington D.C. I mean, like you're being wined and dined,
right,
but you're
exactly.
paying for the privilege.
Exactly. And then you never hear from them again.
Yeah, and I was all of like, I think I was like 24 years old at the time. I was like, wow, but I'm a little bit older, a little wiser now.
Right. If it's a legitimate publisher, agent, whatever, they're going to come to you with an offer of some money and a contract that says we are going to take it under our wing and pay for it all, and we're going to distribute it.
All right, welcome back. We had to take a bit of a break because we very close. Our office is very close to the train tracks, and so we have trains come through periodically, and so we take a break because of the noise and the vibration and all of that. So anyway, we were kind of talking about Vanity Press and kind of buyer beware, author beware. Anybody that approaches you with and says, well, we can do this and this for you, but they
want money up front.
Right, they want to do it for a price. That's considered a vanity press, and they pretty much are not a legitimate operation. And particularly if they're on the phone and they're pushy and they're trying to shove you around or bully you, they're not legit. So
they aren't legit. Okay. I really had to tell this guy. I was at one point, he was talking so much, wouldn't let me get a word in, ask a question, anything. And I finally said, dude, I'm going to hang up if you don't stop and listen to me. And he hung up on me.
Wow. That's rude.
That's rude.
So
really
bad.
Rude. And that was Stratton Press.
Stratton Press. Okay. They're probably affiliated with all the other.
Yeah, there was a couple other names he threw out at me too to make me think that they were some big, publishing company.
Right.
But it's disappointing because your heart pounds in your chest because you think, well, maybe this is the one.
Right.
And then you get into it and you get a contract email that's, this big old huge contract that looks pretty legit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start reading it, and as soon as he sees that you've read it, because you push you received the thing, they're back on the phone with you, pushing again. It was not businesslike. It was not what I would expect a big publishing house to do.
Right. That's wow.
Unless they're fighting over your books, and I really doubt that your first one out, they're going to have a publishing war over you.
Wow.
We can hope that would happen.
Right. Every writer's fantasy.
Yeah, every writer's fantasy. First question this guy asked me was, what do you want from your books? What is your goal? Well, heck, I want to be number one. What does everybody want to do?
Right. Yeah, I want to be number one on the bestseller list for 12 weeks straight.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I've had a pretty good month this month, so I'm excited about that.
Good. Congratulations. Thanks. That's great. How many have you sold?
I've sold 9.
Wow. All right.
And they've read about 2,500 pages, and I mean that does sound stupid to some people, but that's a lot for me.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's a lot.
And one of them was a paperback, so that makes a big difference.
Oh, it does. That's great. I had just published my spirituality book, and almost immediately somebody ordered a paperback, and I was like, oh God, I've not seen a paperback of this, and
I know.
It kind of blew my mind, but
so it's fun. It's fun and then the reviews are starting to come in too a little bit. So they're positive. I'm liking it.
That's the one thing I've not been able to get is reviews. So anyway, it'll happen. All right. So I understand with Street and Shoes, you've got a new cover.
It finally is out. The new cover is on the book.
That's fantastic. That is so cute.
Now, if you look on Amazon, it still shows the purple cover.
Right.
But when I ordered it, I got the pink cover. So I'm hoping it will translate that way. I wish they would change the picture on the.
It'll switch over. I think it just takes a little bit of time.
But don't you love it? It's so teenage girl.
Right. Do you zoom in on it?
I already did.
Awesome. That's marvelous. Okay.
Our great producer over there, she's on it.
Yes.
So, okay, and that's
All right. Well, that kind of wraps up our. Did you have any further comments on the publishing thing?
No, I
or
just
the,
be aware of what you're getting yourselves into, and
Right.
make sure if you have to put money out for anything, it's not a legitimate
Right.
offer.
And if they send you a contract, if you could, I don't know if you can find somebody that can do some pro bono work, have a paralegal or somebody, maybe take a look
Uh-huh.
at it. If you're unsure, but yeah,
Yeah,
as-
because this contract doesn't tell me anything about what they're going to do for me except change my cover, edit it, which has already been edited. Thank you very much. And, stuff like that. It doesn't tell. And what I need is the marketing.
right.
I need the marketing, and I can't because I'm not good at that. And it doesn't say anything about marketing in here.
Right, because they depend on if
Uh-huh.
if you're gonna pay for it, they want the author to do it.
Right. Well,
Which
and
is
I'm marketing every place that say they're going to market it, except for Barnes and Noble. Haven't really pursued that market very much.
right. All right. Well, enjoyed as always talking with you, and
It's been a great morning.
Yes.
I was fired up, so I'm
all right,
anxious about this kind of a deal.
absolutely.
Anyway,
And again, author beware.
Yes.
So, all righty. Thank you so much for joining us.
have a great week.